No. What you were saying?
I was basically saying, anytime people have the educated brothers, they got an education, they got all this money, they party, they go to school, they fuck their money up just like anybody else do. But as soon as the drug dealers do the same thing that they would have did with their money, it's not respected because they're labeled as Pookie and Ray Ray niggas straight out the hood. They tore their community down with the drugs when they weren't even the first ones with the kilos out there. So now that they come up, y'all the same age. This man got a house in an Audi A4. You still stay with your mama, but you got a fucking you got a degree. You got 2 degrees, and this man over here don't have no degree. So he tell you, hey man, look, you smart. Let's do this, do that. Put the money together and do this. But sometimes when only one motherfucker gonna get the shine, the educated brother ain't trying to work along with the flow. So he basically gonna say, man, fuck this nigga. He sold drugs to get to where he needed to get to. I worked and went to school to get to where I needed to get to. But you had the money before. You didn't do nothing with it. You used your parents for parties. You used your parents for this and that and the third. So when the Pookie and Ray Rays and them not going to school and they out here selling drugs, saving their money, ducking, dodging the police, the jack boys, and getting shitted over with these bitches and shit, and they really come out of that and make it, they don't get the respect that these motherfucking niggas that's educated get, because the niggas that's educated know they fucked up. Now, when you get a nigga that's educated, and he made it, he gets right along with the drug dealers, because he made it. He got as much as money, he pulling up in the Audi A4 too. And he can say, yo, I went to school, I got a degree in this. And then he's cool with a drug dealer that sells big pounds of weed. And he's cool with that. But you think he gonna be cool with that when his parents done gave him the chance? He went to school, they done let him fuck over the Jordans that he never bought, but a drug dealer go buy his own Jordans. He knew how it feels to wipe his shoes down and clean his shoes. But do you think Steve Urkel and Carlton and them do? No, they just, only thing he know is this right here. My parents gonna get me another pair of them shoes. But what they will do is put them in a shoebox and keep them in a shoebox, vice versa, the drug dealers. Drug dealers, they don't give a fuck about no shoes. They know when they come out, I'm gonna buy them, I'm gonna wear them for a couple of days, sit them to the side, go get some more, and I'm gonna do it like that. Okay? It's a different technique when it comes down to the drug dealers and the smart, educated brothers. The smart, educated brothers, they keep their shoes in a box, and they may keep their shoes clean. But for the most part, they not buying these shoes. Their parents are. The drug dealers, he wish he didn't have his daddy to let him save his money and say, son, I'm out to go out. You need anything? Yeah, Dad, give me a pair of Adidas. You know, yeah, them the educated brothers' parents. The drug dealer parents, he coming out smell like weed. Oh, he smell like weed. All you want to do is smoke weed, sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? And he's in school. You know what I'm saying? Doing what he was supposed to do. But he just sells drugs. And it's not respectable. And I don't understand this shit about society. Once again, I'm going to say it like this. The educated brothers make it to point A, point B, point C. They cool with the drug dealers, but they never cool with them when, oh man, I got an education too, and this motherfucker got a house on the hill and a nice car and the type of bitch I need to be with. But nigga, you had your chance. You didn't do nothing with it. Just like when a drug dealer has his chance, he may fall off and never get back up again. But when you use your parents, the parents that gave you $5,000, $1,000 check, and you done took $2,500 out, you done fucked over your parents for years in school, and these are school kids. And you can look it up. That's why you got so many kids owing this money.
All right. Well, now, so basically what you're saying is like the black men who grew up in the suburbs, they're jealous of the niggas who live in the hood. That's what you're saying?
I say they only get jealous when of there and move to the suburb where they at, off of drugs, is not respectable. Because this motherfucker in the suburb know he had to use his parents to get up here. But this motherfucker in the hood didn't have to.
Well, I mean, I did the video called The Right to Leave, and me and you, had that discussion, and it urged me to do this video on here. And, that's one of the things that you brought up in the conversation. You said that a lot of women who live in the upper class communities in the suburbs, like, they go to hood parties. They go to the hood and they meet out with the niggas who live in the hood. They meet up with the drug dealers and all of that shit. Whereas, like the Carltons, they don't go to the hood to, go to these parties. Like, they're not even invited to these parties, all right? They're not even invited.
Hold up now, before we get off the hood. You speaking for yourself. I'm speaking for myself for what I know. Because what I know is
I'm asking you.
The drug dealers ain't just a crack dealer. He a weed dealer. The Urkels and all them coming down into the hood to get the weed. And he's also telling these Urkel and Steve, these Carlton niggas like this, like, man, I'm glad y'all niggas fucking with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, if anybody fuck with y'all, just let me know. I'll fuck them up for y'all. And they also tell these niggas that I wish I didn't have to stay down here. I wish I could live like y'all. And these fucking niggas, Steve Urkel type niggas, they feel the pain. But they like, well, if you work hard towards it, man, it'll get better. Cool. I work hard towards it, stacking my money. And once I get there, why ain't it respected? That's all I'm saying. Fuck that. I just told your ass in the hood, I want to get about this shit. Because you don't even stay in this shit. You don't brought me to your crib. Let me see how you live. I want to live like this now. But I don't have the right because I'm staying in a fucked up environment, but born in a fucked up environment. That's not right. That's not right.
No. I know everybody's ideal is to get out of the hood. Like, I know that's the black man's mentality too. Just leave the area. And everybody you ask, they basically say the same thing. I understand that, but how are you really going to get respect? You talk about the respect of, like, leaving and going and living part of that community, but even within your own community, a lot of these people, when they leave it behind, or, they call themselves, doing for the community from a distance and shit,
Well, I don't know what doing for a community from a distance, but I'm going to stay at a distance. Yeah, I'm going to stay far off where it take you gas to get to my house, but this weekend, hey, I got posters up. Hold on, wait a minute, let me finish, bro. I got posters up. This is what I see with the drug dealers. I don't know one drug dealer that's big. I know where the fuck he stay at. And when I see that nigga in the hood doing cookouts for the whole community for free, that these hard-working motherfuckers, they got jobs, they ain't doing.
Well,
they ain't doing it. Yeah. They not doing it. Well. So the only thing I'm saying is we all black people. And they need to get the fuck up out of that shit, because the drug dealers ain't the one hating. They the one congratulating and trying to get the fuck up out of there. Hey. Now, yeah, I'm going to stay in New Albany, but this weekend I'm doing a cookout for the whole neighborhood and anybody can come. I ain't asking nobody to put no money in. So when it all boils down to it, fuck no, I'm not going to clean up and then go in and I stay around the corner from here. Hell no. Fuck no. You think the other drug dealers out here like the fact that I did this for these motherfuckers? Now I got the respect from the Cartons and the Steve Urkels, because they see what I have done. And I done invited them, the ones that buy weed from me, like, hey man, come down to my hood, bro. I got a cookout going on. But the other drug dealers ain't gonna respect that. They gonna try to take me off, take me down. So yeah, I'm gonna need to get the fuck about this neighborhood and stay at a distance. Out of sight, out of mind. That's what it's called.
Hey,
you can't ride around these niggas. You can't ride around these motherfuckers in a Lexus sitting on 22s and they out here on the block hustling and they didn't have the mind you got to save your money. They want to do drugs, pop pills, and now they want to get serious. But now they getting serious. They see you got your money up. Fuck that. That's not right. That's not fair. These niggas is not about the Cartons and the Steve Urkels and what they want. It's about I'm living in hell and I got to get the fuck up out of here. And if it take me to move
Well,
everything you do in life is called mind your fucking business. I done seen some of the racist people get cool with black people because they mind their fucking business.
Okay, I'm gonna let you have the flow. I'm gonna let you have the flow on this one because I actually spoke my mind on my 2 videos. So I'm gonna let you speak your mind on this right now while we talking and shit. There's a few things I wanted to interject on, because you mentioned that the drug dealers aren't the ones that are jealous, and I mean, to be honest with you, I don't hear a lot of jealousy coming from, like the hard-working brothers either. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I said the drug dealers are jealous. The drug dealers. I just said that. I just said that the Carters and the Steve Urkels, they cool with the drug dealers when they see that the drug dealers is actually doing something. Because they know that this drug dealer don't have millions of dollars to create. Can I say? You said you're going to give me the floor.
This is the part that I was gonna get to, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not it's not them, that have the problem with the shit. It's like other communities, like white folks. The ones like those are the ones who really have the problem with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Behind closed doors. That's what I was trying to get you to understand. But go ahead, you can have the floor.
Okay, I feel what you're saying. The white community, they the ones who have the problem behind closed doors.
Hey.
All I'm saying is, you know how it is, Morris. So basically, what I'm saying is, when you got the when you like the Carters and them, they cool with it, bro. They, you know what I'm saying? I told you, they only get jealous when they fuck up with their parents in school, and they see the drug dealers done made it to where they need to be and got the girls they need to have. And that's what they get mad at. But once they get their shit,
you got the scenarios too, like on More Money. You know what I'm saying? Where you got, the educated brother, he got the girl and shit, or like a scenario where the nice, pretty looking girl stays in the the upper scale community with the Carlton nigga, right? He lives in the hood. I'm not in the hood, but he lives in an upper scale community too. He lives in like Westerville or New Albany. Grew up there. And he's with this girl out there, and then all of a sudden, like, she meets up with this hood nigga at this job or some shit, and he's feeling some kind of way about it, like on More Money, Damon Wayans, he played like the hood nigga, right? And he had the light skinned uppity scale guy.
Yeah, him and his brother played the hood nigga, and that nigga with the glasses was her boyfriend. Yeah. But the problem that she had with this nigga was he was, you know what I'm saying, like the problem.
It's almost like. You hear some of them, like, they talking that way, well, when I was coming up, these girls didn't want me, and now all of a sudden, boom, and I mean, some of that shit has a lot of truth to it. It really does, But, the thing is, like, with white folks, and even with the Carlton and Urkels, like, maybe they could do more and work with the drug dealers more and, come up with more opportunities and more lucrative businesses in the black community, you know what I'm saying? That would be good. That would be great, But like everybody's trying to get the fuck out. Everybody don't want to. Like everybody we talked to, we had these debates with niggas. Like we went to the library. We had the debate with the black security guard up in there.
Let me say this real quick. I understand why they don't want to work with the drug dealers, because when you go back to the movie New Jack City, you gotta think about it. In New Jack City, at that point when they was in fucking court, this bitch ass nigga Nino Brown told on dude. You know what I'm saying, in the fucking head. He was just the nigga that had something to do with the computers and doing all the disk work and all that bullshit, keeping the files on everything. So the Carter like, look, man, I can get more time than you because I'm the mastermind. I went to school for shit. I got an education. And when it come down to it, if I'm part of your organization when it go down, they gonna give me more time than you. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they looking at it. And that's the truth. So I understand that. You know what I'm saying? When it come down to the drugs, if they was to be partner up in drugs, but when it come down to owning a business with the Steve Urkel and Carter niggas need to make the drug dealers understand that where they would understand, unless you don't want to do business with this nigga, man. The only thing you gotta do is tell these niggas, what's up, man?
All of this shit that you talking about, is that going on like right now around us right now? Where like the Carters and the Urkels are actually going to the hood and fucking with niggas in the hood. Like, is this shit really going on right now?
Yeah, it's going on right now.
And
that's why I wouldn't have made it up, because at the end of the day,
Huh?
A lot of these, if you can I answer the question?
All right. I'm asking you, is it going on around?
Can I answer the question? Let me answer the question. Yes, it's going on. And these motherfuckers, and what's going on is, like, just like, I ain't gonna say no names, they got the white boys, I'm gonna just say his name, white boy, he got some garbage ass weed. He tired of buying that weed from, he's a preppy kid, so he fucking with these white boys with the weed. That weed ain't good as the weed that the drug dealers in the hood be having. And you know that. So what he does, he like, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go holler at my dude, you know what I'm saying, D. And, you know, he don't fuck with me like that because, you know what I'm saying, I'm not really living like he lived, but we fuck around because he know me, we might have went to church, but now he smoke weed, you know. He called me up, we fuck with me, smoke weed together, whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying is, they gonna tell you like, yeah, man, this weed that them white boys be having ain't shit, and which it ain't. So they come to the guys in the hood. So when they come to the guys in the hood, these niggas in the hood be, yeah, they gonna question them like, man, where you be hanging out at, man? I see you doing good for yourself type shit. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, there's no problem with them type of cats. The problem come in, like I say, with the other drug dealers. Drug dealers got a problem with each other. One drug dealer do something good, the other drug dealer got a problem with it because he didn't do it. And what I said about the smart cats, they just only get mad when they done fucked up their chances in life and they got an education.
Well,
and they don't have their own place.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just like you moving, that's just like me and you moving in a crib and we sell big weed or something. And we move in the house beside a Carlton. You start fucking with them because y'all on the same level.
Well, what about a non-smoking Carlton? What about them? What about the non-smoking Carltons? You know, the ones who, you know, they
the ones who don't smoke, they just drink.
Not even the ones who drink. How about that? How about the ones like
even the ones who don't smoke or drink?
Right.
Well, if they don't smoke or drink, they can care less of what the fuck going on. They playing a video game, and them the type of motherfuckers who they can tell you what's about to happen in the world before it happens. Period.
Well, I mean, some of them not even playing video games. Some of them are just heavy in the gym. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they got a little problem with the shit. You know, I mean, the problem is there. Yeah, I mean, you said something else about the drug dealers, like they never work together. You know, individually they shit, but you know, together it's like, you know, it's just like drug deal going bad. This nigga killed this nigga. You know, you got those type of problems in the black community. You know, so I mean, for the most part, you know, Urkel or Carlton, whether, you know, he would be the one who would be like the unarmed motherfucker walking through the neighborhood and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, the one who, you know, never got into any trouble and all of a sudden he got caught up in some fucked up shit. You know, maybe the cops shot him, something like that. But that goes back into saying, like, you know, the community needs to be clean and need black cops in the community. And, you know, like that comment, I'm gonna say it again, like that comment that black security guard said. Well, you know, you never see mansions in that community, but I mean, damn, look at gentrification. Look at when white folks come along and they clean up the black community. When then all of a sudden you see, you know, nice houses and, you know, the lawn is manicured, and there's bushes and flowers and shit, you know, like they did with Harmony Oaks and the Magnolia projects basically into Harmony Oaks. And, you know, not just that, like a lot of other projects, like, you know, the Marrero, whatever they call it, like, you know, they replaced projects with that, you know. You know, they've torn out a lot of areas. I mean, in some of the neighborhoods, not even the projects, but some of the neighborhoods, they've turned in, you know, to nice condominiums and shit where white folks are able to, you know, get to work now. It's a little more convenient for them, you know, where, you know, black people make that comment, well, there aren't any nice houses in the black community. I mean, we can gentrify our own shit. But, I mean, I think that shit is just going out the door now because, you know, a lot of black people, you know, you're right. Yeah, they want to move out. Like, I've made videos about that, too, about how I know people who, you know, received, like, Section 8 vouchers, and they were able to move out the hood into the outskirts, and then they found out that the bus route runs a little differently than it does in their city. You got a bus like every time you turn your eyes, every time you blink your eyes, you got another bus in front of you when you inside of the city. But when you're outside of the city, like one of those outside cities, the bus route don't run like that. The bus may run like once an hour. You know what I'm saying? And they realize like, damn, you need a car out here. You need other resources in order to survive. And then now they're complaining. They want to move back. They want to move closer into the city and shit. And they find out that the rent is a little higher. They can't get where they want to go. They get some more shitty ass place. Where they're not able to live where they want to live, like how they want to live in the area anymore. But their area where they used to live has been gentrified. It's been cleaned up. You know what I mean? I know at least 3 people who've gone through this. So, yeah, bro. I mean, sometimes leaving is not a good thing. I mean, it's that same situation where, you got the situation where, what the fuck is going on back there? All right. Yeah, you got that situation where a black man has a business and white man is like, well, I'll buy it from you, for $300,000, and the black guy's like, damn, I'm not selling out because if he's trying to buy it for $300,000, it got to be worth at least $5 million. It's almost on those types of terms. Like, damn, they want to really clean up this shit. There got to be something big about it. And there got to be something really important. And, yeah, you start to see how important it is. It's more convenient for white folks to live downtown. All right. Hello, you still there? Yeah, he's gone. I can go on. If I can go on and on and on about this. I wanted him to go ahead and speak his piece because, we've had...
I'm still on.
Oh, all right. All right, yeah, he's still on. All right. I really wanted you to sit and speak his piece because we had these debates, man. You know what I'm saying? These heavy ass debates. About it, like the whole little Boosie thing, and now all of a sudden Drake is giving money. So he sends me this video with Drake doing his video, and he's handing out money to people, giving food away, and all of this shit. So it's ironic that this video comes out around the same time, we talking about like rappers and drug dealers giving back to the community, or just the fact that they're leaving when on the other end, they talk about how they got the hood on lock and how everybody in the hood respects me and all of that shit, and drug dealers like they would be the ones like to really strong arm and clean the community because they are the ones with the guns, they are the entrepreneurs, like they would be the founders.
Right now,
they would be the founders of the progress. You know what I'm saying? All it needs is a little bit of adjustment. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And then I would say once that shit started to happen.
Farrakhan was just talking about that about 2-3 days ago on YouTube. How it said how these people with jobs out here, everybody about to get their tax money. He said, but the only people that's gonna look out for the community is the drug dealers. He said, what he say? I don't glorify that what these young cats are doing, but for the ones that's keeping the killing out of their business, and they out there buying their mother a house, making sure their sisters and brothers is in school. Hey man, keep doing what you're doing. Y'all know the consequences behind it, and that's exactly what he said. My whole thing is, bro, why the fuck motherfuckers with jobs ain't doing shit for the community?
Hey. I asked the same question, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I don't. It's not,
I didn't say you. But when you talk about the drug dealers, you got to understand. It could be one president right here listening to where we at. You got to make sure you ain't talking about all of them. Bro, when you say about them, because all drug dealers are not the same. You got some that has looked out for the community, but let the fucking news people find some of the shit out that they have done for the community. Where do you get money from to do this shit?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at this shit from my perspective, though. You and I both know I know drug dealers and rappers, right? You know what I'm saying? And the ones that I know personally, seriously, have they done for the community?
The ones that you know personally?
Yeah, the ones that you know I know. Huh?
Alright, I know one that you know. I know several of them, but I don't know the one. Like, have you ever did something for his community?
Hey, I'm talking about like, let's start off with the drug dealers. How about that? The drug dealers that you and I both know. Even what have they done? And I mean, these dudes had some big operations as well. Like, what the fuck have they done for the community, though? You know, even the business that surrounds that particular community.
I mean, the most I can say that they have done for the community, and I know a lot of cats can vouch for this. When you're a drug dealer, you only can do with so much. And as far as like the football teams and stuff, I remember most of them drug dealers that had money. They bought all the equipment, made sure that kids had parties and stuff. Whatever the mothers need, some mothers didn't have. They rent money, but they sons and them was good football players or basketball players, and them niggas paid for shit. You know what I'm saying? Whether the mothers was fucking these niggas or not, this whole point is it came from a drug dealer, not a motherfucker with a 9 to 5.
Hey.
And what did he do for his community? I don't know what he have did for old people, but I know what he have done for the youth, bro.
And well, that goes back.
If you a hard working man, you got kids,
hey.
And the coach tell you, hey man, hold up, let me finish, bro. And the coach tell you, hey man, don't worry about the equipment and stuff. I got everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to pay for nothing. How would you look at that man?
That goes back to my conversation about Boosie buying the bikes and shit in the neighborhood. Like,
all right, never mind, man. Never mind. Ain't no nothing count for nothing. That's why people
I'm not
don't
saying
do
it don't.
nothing.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't at all. I'm just saying, like, instead
That
of
goes
doing
back to, let's talk. It goes back. What did Drake do? Drake didn't do no more than Boosie did. Am I right there?
Well, I mean, personally, I need to analyze the video a little more, but what I saw from the video, like, he handing out bread to these dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what they do with it, hopefully, like, a couple guys who he gave the money to, hopefully they establish, like, some, maybe a nice start, if they help them. I don't know if their credit is good or whatever, but, maybe they can have a nice financial opportunity, a nice financial start at something. But bicycles, I mean, that shit depreciates in value just like a car does. And it's like, it's not like giving money, like, hopefully the guy doesn't go out and buy a bunch of video games and shit like that, and spend the money stupidly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he understands, like, oh shit, man, I need to get my shit together so that I can get to another level in life. Like, that would be cool. Like, Drake did that shit for the motherfucker on. Like, yeah, because I mean, if he gave out $1 million throughout the whole entire video, then I'm pretty sure, like, $1 million, the money that he did give to people, because I know he didn't give money to just everybody. You know what I'm saying? But the money he did give to some people probably wasn't enough for them to go and start a business. But if it is, hopefully they do that. You know what I'm saying? As a black person, hopefully they got enough sense instead of like, oh shit, I'm going to buy me an Audi, Hopefully they do something right with it. But little Boosie getting out bikes, you know what I'm saying? But see, like, the thing is, you're not even supposed to do it either way. I look at it like, well, Drake is Canadian, bro. So I mean, I'm thinking about like a African American guy, doing for the community. And if I had the opportunity, I would just go ahead and be like, fuck it. Here's the business. Here's the fucking financial opportunities. Boom. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put the money in their hand because, there's no telling what they would do with the money, because we already see, like, how people have different opinions when it comes down to operating in the black community, like, or even what they would do once they had money in their hands. Like, black people have different ideologies. They have different mindsets of what they would do with money. So if I had the idea of, like, controlling the hood, with resources and lucrative jobs, then, I would just automatically do it. Like, okay, look, you work at this laundromat, you work at this corner store, you work at this, computer shop, you work at this sound shop, and this is what it is, you know what I'm saying? We got security at this bitch. I'm gonna put you all, look, this is for the security. And you know what? That nice ass, fucking lot right there, and instead of fucking like in the next couple of years, instead of fucking taking the lot and building apartment complexes or something, I would build another business. I'll be like, well, you know what, I'm gonna turn this shit into like a skating rink for the kids or a movie theater or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it'll just be privately funded. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And then the next thing I would go into maybe a gym. And then another business, in the restaurant, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would just do it that way, where black people could see the money going through the neighborhood, like, damn, and it would just, like, boost everybody else's ego. You start fixing up a couple houses, people across the street, listen, people across the street start feeling some kind of way when your house look better than theirs, when your grass look better than theirs.
What he done can be no respected than what Bootsy done then.
Hey man, I mean,
because he didn't do what you in your mind would have did. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, because you never know what people is gonna do once you put money in their hands. So I mean, with Drake, he don't know what they gonna do with that money. All he knows is he's just giving out money to the people and shit. I mean, with Boosie, I mean, it's a little different too. I mean, Boosie is like, okay, look, I ain't giving these motherfuckers no money. I'm giving them some bikes. I'm giving them something that, they can take and ride around with, And I mean, maybe he had good intentions, like Lil Boosie's intentions probably was like, well, damn, you know what? I'm gonna take these bikes and buy these bikes for these kids so that these kids can go and ride around in the neighborhood and explore the neighborhood and protect the community and be able to see more shit.
I guarantee you, when Nelly was out there, she still remember that shit till the day. Like, I remember when Boosie gave me a bike. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee she'll remember that shit till she get older. Because this is a famous person.
Yeah, but at the same time, when she does grow up, or when any person who received a bike, when they do grow up, yeah, they're going to have memories. Yeah, I remember when Lil Boosie bought me a bike. But, I mean, what type of, they can still be the ratchet ass Sequilla. Yeah, Boosie bought me a bike when I was young. It could be fucking Ray Ray and Pookie. Like, yeah, man, that nigga did buy me a bike and shit, but man, shit, I got these 2 kids and shit, I can't even support them and shit, you know what I'm saying? That bike, those bikes, it's good, for right then for the kids and shit then, but it's not like, it's a tool for them to take and use to have, a lucrative opportunity in the future. Like, I would have went as far, I'd have been like, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? If I want these kids to have fun and shit, man, I'm going to just go ahead and just open up a fucking rec center, have a fucking basketball court in that bitch, have like a little dance studio for the girls or some shit. Yeah, they have maybe even a little fucking arcade in that bitch for them, you know what I'm saying? And
Rick Ross had 3 of those in Miami.
I would have been on some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't controlling.
I just told you, Rick Ross tried to buy a gas station.
But this what I would do.
White motherfuckers won't let him.
I would have, it would be black owned in the black community and shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it would be. But that wouldn't be my main focus. That would just be for the kids. That would never be my main fucking focus. Because even in that same recreational center, I would have classes and, I would actually go to these places personally and shit and, speak and talk to the kids and let them know, boom, 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 boom. Like,
you get your education then.
I would do that. I would just do it like that, you know what I'm saying? Because, Lil Boosie, you going to that shit, speaking and shit, you talking to the kids, man, they'll remember that shit. They'll be like, they'll really, really remember that. They're going to remember the bikes, But fuck it, I would have it like, man, I would have the bikes there at the recreational center, and when y'all got finished riding these motherfucking bikes, they better be put back in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll have trackers on them damn bikes. Y'all go ride around the neighborhood, go see what's going on in the neighborhood, and I have them fixed where, like, the black people who are working at these businesses, they can see on the computer exactly where the bikes are and shit, what's going on in the community.
Check this out. Boosie said they let me talk to all the kids. They let me go to any school I want to go to and talk to the kids, but they won't let me own what I want to own. He said it's the thing about society. He said that Birdman, a.k.a. Baby, never went to a school and talked to no children. And he has tried, but they keep denying him. And he was like, along with a lot of other rappers, he said, but they won't let me own what I want to own, but I'm allowed to go talk to children in schools. He said, something wrong saying?
Okay.
They got to be, yeah. You know, basically, Baby tried to do the same thing he rappers to try to go talk to schools, but they denied him like, hell no, nigga, you can't come here, you a fucked up type nigga. So, and he was like, several other rappers got denied where they couldn't go to schools, but they said they let me go to 7, 8 schools in Louisiana and talk to children. He said that even when
there's several reasons why they would let somebody like Boosie do it too, you know what I'm saying? I can see why they would let somebody like Boosie versus somebody like Birdman go, you know. I mean, you know, Lil Boosie for the most part, even though like I'm not an avid listener of his music, I mean, I do know like some of the music that he does talks about life situations, and you know, just the fact that he does have a medical condition, and you know, there's various other things as well. You know, like he would definitely be a good motivational speaker for a lot of kids. You know, like, but someone like Baby, hell no. I can see several other rappers. I like to hear who these rappers are, because I'm sure that they're rappers like I wouldn't want them talking to my kid. If I had a kid, I wouldn't like no. So I mean, I wouldn't mind my kid talking to Lil Boosie, you know. But I do know what Lil Boosie represents.
He said along with several other rappers. He said, but they won't let me own what I want to own in America. He said, but I can go to schools and talk to children. He said something wrong with that bitch.
That's the thing that black people need to be protesting against. That's the thing that people, you know, we need to be protesting about. You know, because that would eliminate every other fucking organization, you know, that's bullshit. Like Black Lives Matter, for instance. You know, it would eliminate all of that other stuff. Like just the scenario that I came up with a few minutes ago. You know, about how, you know, businesses could be established and all of that, right? And, you know, people would be, you know, competitive in the community, and, you know, you would have more men being more competitive. You know what I'm saying? So the women would just go ahead and be more feminine, because they don't have to be so competitive, you know, in the workforce anymore, because they have their men that are more competitive now. Yeah, man, I mean, you know, everything would just fall in place, bro. You know, instead of targeting the wrong things, the wrong issues, you know, we protest about some of the dumbest shit, you dig? When you start targeting the money, when you start targeting, you know, the financial resources, and, you know, just the financial stability, you know, that you want, you know, you don't want to just have financial stability, you know, you actually want to, you know, have access, you know, and get over. So, you know, until we start getting that, and then that'll change our stereotype. You know, the stereotype, black people are always poor, black people, you know, they have black on black crime, black people can't get along. Like, all of those stereotypes would stop, you know, and then we, you know, we would operate like how we, you know, look at other stereotypes. Like when we look at Mexican stereotypes and Asian stereotypes, you know, Somalian stereotypes. Like, they all, for, you know, the most part, they work together. You know, the problem is that, you know, they don't have enough money running through, or some of them do, like some of those nationalities do. But if black people wants to do that shit, nigga, if African Americans wants to do that shit, as much money as we spend as consumers, if we was to do that shit amongst each other, oh, bruh. You know, like, we would damn near take over. That's why they're doing everything in their power to stop us from fucking working together that type of way. They don't want that. That's what they don't want. You know, killing each other, oh yeah, you know, decreases the population and shit. You know, like, yeah, they'll always stay in the minority position because of that. But, I mean, once we started getting our finances together, and I mean, that would hurt them. That would really leave them butthurt. You know? Seriously, because, I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. Like, the space race is literally like an economical warfare. It's all about economics, bro. You know, these niggas, you know, like, they you know, drain other communities of all of their resources and shit, you know, so that they can maintain the power that they, you know, continue to have. You know, and the thing is to cut them off from the...
This my thing right here with them. They, you know, they drain out, like, fuck the bullshit, like, black people in their own community. Okay, man, Master P said this shit a long time. Fuck Master P, fuck all the rappers, nigga. Let's talk about real people who done said this shit. You know what I'm saying? People in done said everybody's not gonna make it. Somebody gotta be poor, somebody gotta be medium, somebody gotta be rich. And so, like my uncle used to tell me, I hear this from famous people too. Everybody's not gonna make it. Just make sure your ass make it.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, do you think when I make it, as hard as it is out here in this fucking world, nigga, we watching fucking TV shows like The Shot. They showing you how hard it is for a black man with a baby and shit like that. And this is what's going on in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? Bitches, used to bitches keep you away from your children. Now bitches running away from their children. You know what I'm saying? You're leaving them with the father. You know what I'm saying? So they showing you what's going on in the world. Man, fuck that shit. When I make it, I don't give a fuck if a white motherfucker down the street don't like I moved here. They don't like you move. When you was a kid moving with your mama and daddy, moving into a white neighborhood because your daddy in the military, or your daddy is good, got a good job, a doctor or something, he still black brothers. The brothers didn't make it. They still stay in the ninth ward. They still go to the cookout. And when the brothers and them get invited to the house, the white people next door like, oh, here we go with these motherfucking hood people. But see, he's not telling his family he can't come around, but now we in 2018, motherfuckers act like it's not cool to move by these motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm moving by them, because I'm tired of black people, bro.
All right, but like, just think about everything I said, you know what I'm saying, about, like, black people wanting to have their cake and eat it too. You know, I
it's like white folks. White people do the same thing, bro. What you think they doing now? They been having their cake, eating it too. Now they come down to the black neighborhood, buy all the motherfucking abandoned houses, fix them up. Now they own this house, and they got the right to rent it out to who they want to rent it out to. And it damn sure ain't gonna be no black people. So when it all boils down to it, they want their cake and eat it too, and motherfucker, we do too. And I ain't gonna stop until I goddamn get a piece. They got me fucked up if they think they gonna move places where we own for real, just because they moved there and got the money. Bitch, we here now.
Yeah, I mean, that's gentrification, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
And you know what? Like black people ain't trying to gentrify nothing at all. Like, even in Africa, like the architect in Africa is based on, like, other races coming in there and building up the community, so they can maintain or have economical power for themselves. Some of those races of people, some of those nationalities have left, and the same buildings still remain. Like, you go to Somalia, like, it's the same shit. Like, it was buildings that the Italians left behind, and the Somalians, just used those same buildings. They didn't renovate them. They didn't do anything else. Just let the shit just go down to the fucking dirt. A lot of African cities, except for, like, they got cities that do, renovate. Like, you have Nigeria, they have a nice architecture, a nice system there. But, majority of those African countries, man, the motherfuckers, the buildings, they're like 40s and 50s, and, like, they were made around those times, or like maybe around the 20s and shit. Like, they're not, up to date, up to code.
Yeah, anywhere in America,
but white people, they come around.
We got the right to go. We got the right to move. They talking about go back to Africa. No, bitch. We gonna go right there in your fucking white neighborhood.
When white folks coming on, they clean some shit. Like, white folks coming on, they clean house. You know what I'm saying? And we don't. Like, so that's how they look at even, like you said earlier about Chief Keef, having to move where he stayed at, because of the music and all of that. Like, black people, they look at us like, when we come to these communities, we tearing shit down. The property value goes down at that point. Like, the property value goes down when niggas start moving in the community. And
it depends on. You're right about that part. When niggas move in the community, but the property value goes down when you do things in that motherfucker that the last person that owned it didn't do. But if you build onto the house and you a clean person, property value goes up.
Man, I've seen people who didn't want to move in houses because black people stayed in them, bro. I've heard stories, bro. All kinds of stories, man, dealing with the mortgage industry and redlining and different underwriting some procedures that are done, like, like loan processing, different loan processing procedures that are done for white folks versus black people. You know what I'm saying? I've seen all kind of shit. You dig? Um, so yeah, I mean that type of racism does exist. Now look how they doing it. Like, they fucking with your money, they fucking with your quality of life. And that's the same thing black people need to be doing too. Fuck with their quality of life as well. Stop fucking, being the largest consumers of these fucking people. Stop advocating the trend for them. Advocate the trend for your own community, your own businesses and shit. I'm talking out to the rappers and shit now. When they start talking about Louis Vuitton and all of that. Like, back in the Pele Pele, Mecca, Fubu, Sean John days, nobody was talking about that. Like, I mean, you may have Biggie say something about Versace, but for the most part, like, niggas was wearing, Wu-Tang, No Limit gear, they was wearing some hood shit, So,
you damn right.
So,
supporting our black culture.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly what it needs to go back to. Like, I mean, that's why I don't have any problem with this new Karl Kani thing. Like, I'm all for this shit, because I always did like Karl Kani clothes. Even before, like, I just noticed that Tupac was wearing them a lot, and I was like, damn, that nigga got good taste. Because I love me some Karl Kani clothes as well. So, I mean, with that being said, we start supporting black businesses.
You know that place? You know that place where I went to go get my shit from?
Yeah.
They got plenty of Karl Kani in that bitch.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I'm just waiting. Nigga, I'm just waiting to get my money up so I can go get plenty of.
Yeah. I have some Karl Kani shit still. I have some fresh old school Karl Kani shit, man. Still, but I'm gonna get some new shit too. Because I support that. I've always supported that. Like, this whole new Burberry, Armani, Louis Vuitton, Gucci shit that they have going on now. It's like, it just validates, the trend and shit, so that rich white folks and rich white kids, they can, they have the money to afford it and still have accessible money to go and do other things. Like, they can afford it, just like the Tommy Hilfiger thing. White folks could buy a Tommy Hilfiger.
Rappers get that shit for free.
Same thing with Don P. Same thing with Don Perignon. It's like, like I said, on MTV Cribs, everybody had Don P in their refrigerator on MTV Cribs, even the white folks. But when Jay-Z said it wasn't cool no more, that's when the trend left. So we need to make the trend products that, we are manufacturing and we are creating and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then let them come and buy into our products. Buy into our system and shit, versus, us validating these other products, And I mean, that would build more pride and, I mean, that's why they don't allow, like, it's either two parts of the reason why, like, other races like Somalians and Mexicans and, like, why they are not exploited on television the way black people are exploited. You don't hear about, Somalians as a whole, like, you don't see, like, the Black Somalian Awards, like, you only see that with Hispanics, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna see, like, the Mexican Cha-Cha Award, the Mexican Enchilada Salsa, dance off, you just, it's not anything that anybody is going to watch, like they're going to sit down and watch, like, the BET Hip Hop Awards, so we need to use those media outlets as a tool, and that's what BET was doing for a while. That's why I really feel like that's why they were bought out, because it started to show different types of music, different types of black people. You can listen to Little Brother on there. They had Rap City, they had Cedar's World, they had, what was that, BET Uncut. There was different things, like, different artists who were speaking their minds on there, because it was a black supported television show. You can see when the matriarchy took over in BET. And next thing you know, like, everything was like Medea, and then they started showing a lot of these.
Well, it started when I started seeing words coming across the fucking bottom and shit.
Yeah.
Like every time BET come on, they got these words certain shit like little sounds they was coming making this shit, and I'm like, man, what the fuck? I'm like, man, this that white people shit.
Right. Right.
They took Big Tick off the basement.
Yeah. Yeah, they really fucked up.
Do you know why? Do you know why they took Big Tick off the basement?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Man, a couple rappers, man, was on the run from the fucking police, and because they shut him down because it ain't up for him to know, like, cause he done recorded Lil Wayne on the run and shit. Lil Wayne on the fucking run from the police. Ain't turned himself in, but he up there in New York in the basement ripping the mic and shit. And so he's basically taking in fugitives.
Oh wow.
Making money off this shit. Taking in fugitives, doing shows, but you know what I'm saying? But they think he's supposed to report to the police. That's some snitch shit. You feel me?
Yeah, I didn't really.
Who else was it? DMX was on that bitch. Had a warrant for his arrest. I got a warrant for my arrest, but I don't care though. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And they showing this on TV. They're like, okay, what's going on is we don't have control. See, when we start taking control, there's no basement no more, so they have to come to a main place to where we know who's coming in and out and what's going on and what's being said and what's being recorded. You feel me?
Right. Well, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of things that was fucked up about BT. You know, when it came down to you know, just the way it was before, because it did have a lot of ways to get an outlet of how to you know, basically be black, you know, like even though this shit was going on, like, you know, he had the gospel stuff in the morning, which I think they still do, you know, because, you know, gospel is one of those things that it makes black people, you know, feel good about themselves, and it keeps us stagnant and all of that shit. It keeps us still and shit. So I think they still have that. Yeah, but they don't have like you know, the real shit no more. You know, not at all. You know, it was just getting too strong. You know, but we need our own media. We need more of it. Because I mean, it's gotten worse since we lost BET. I mean, you look at the music. Look at what's out there, you know, what your music selection is now, who is being promoted, you know, like it's changed. It seriously has changed. You know, everything is like, you know, tight jeans and purses and dresses, and you know, like it's really gotten bad. It's observant. You know, it's the shit that you can see. But shit. You know, I think once we start getting that shit back, you start seeing more different type of black people, you know, and then, you know, there'll be different things that we're able to take and identify with, you know, because the same shit that you identify with, I might not identify with. You dig? Like, I might identify with, you know, Talib Kweli, you know what I'm saying? And you might identify with Gucci Mane. But on the video, we watching the videos, we able to have an outlet of the same people. Like when we watch, you know, The Basement, or, you know, like the interviews that were shown on those stations. You know, we're able to see our favorite rapper and shit, and like, oh yeah, he gonna be on TV. Now it's like, you know, you don't really see that shit unless you go to YouTube and they got a video. Or, you know, you know, they're doing some interview on Vlad TV or some shit.
Yeah.
You know?
But you go on MTV, they still playing rock and roll, they still playing country music, they still doing road rules and all that bullshit, but it's in the new way era now. These motherfuckers got, on road rules now, you got 2 faggots per house now. You know what I'm saying, type shit. 2 niggas in there, they gay, they always fighting with each other. Then you got the ones that straight, you know what I'm saying, the 2-3 guys that straight, then you got the 2-3 girls that straight. You know what I'm saying? Or they may be gay. You know what I'm saying? They promoting this shit to where you around these motherfuckers so long, sooner or later one of them straight men gonna get their dick sucked in the closet by one of them faggots. And they gonna get exposed in the real, if they ever make it famous, they gonna get exposed about it. Soon as this motherfucker call himself OG Treetop, some bullshit like that in the rap game, it's gonna be exposed that when you was nigga you used to playing the TV show Roll Rules back in the days. And then is it true that you was messing around with the gay guy? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that gonna come about. That's what they do. They keep that type of shit on file. Cause they don't know you may blow up one day. And this is they may need you. You know what I'm saying? See, they dirty like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. These motherfuckers don't be understanding, man. When you a man, you do man shit, bro. You don't just cause you living the life now. They got you on national TV. You got the right to get your dick sucked in the closet by a man. Hell no, man. That's the biggest exposure in the world. That's.
Yeah, bro. But look,
like that's bullshit. Some of the straightest men get caught up in that shit because they feeling like in their mind, this. Hold on, right quick.
Yeah,
cut this up, man. Let me cut this up, son.
But see, the only problem with that, with these guys going out, getting into the industry and then getting overly exposed and shit like that, that goes back to black people having control of their own media because you never heard all of this shit before the fall of BET. You never heard none of this type of shit, So, and even with the trend, I think that's the core of it right there, I think it's because the things that we support, we don't manufacture.
Do you know who controls the media?
The things that, of course, the Jews control the media. But I'm saying, like...
No, I'm talking about who is the one, you got to make it past him first, the only way your shit can get aired on national TV.
Well, you talking about the government, what is it called?
No.
Fucking,
Jimmy Iovine is control of the media, bro. He the one that controls all the media in the world. See, let me explain something to you. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when Charlie Sheen was on one of them Tonight shows and he called that nigga a faggot or something? Or he said something about this motherfucker. He sued that nigga for $2 million and banned him off the show. And he had to apologize just to motherfucking get back on TV. They wouldn't allow to show Charlie Sheen nowhere. The only way you gonna be seen is on YouTube. Mm-hmm. But he apologized to Jimmy Iovine and Jimmy Iovine let him, get his shine back.
Okay, so with that being said, did Charlie Sheen have to give Jimmy Iovine some head too? You know what I'm saying?
He probably did. You never know. Them motherfuckers are some silly motherfuckers. He said he sued him for $2 million, but nigga, that could have been a code for some head.
Wow.
That's what they could have been telling the fucking the like niggas like us that think we stupid. Mm. Y'all gonna charge this man $2 million. You know what I'm saying? Y'all some white folks. And y'all dirty and nasty. So y'all ain't just charging this man no $2 million. Y'all said y'all did, but in real life, this motherfucker had to give up some ass.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're getting off topic. You did.
Nah, we ain't getting off topic, bruh. I don't know why you keep saying that, nigga. You making it seem like I'm the cause. Nah, bruh. You asked me a question. No. You think Charlie Sheen did that? And I just explained to you.
No,
bro. Yeah, he did. He probably did. It was just a code.
We get off topic because, with the both of us all, because this conversation is supposed to be like, getting out of the community, my thoughts and views on it. In comparison to, even your thoughts and views, and then, the people that we did go out and speak about this shit. And
the whole point is, I can re-clarify that to what we talking about. Motherfucking majority of the faggots own shit. That's why. They own shit, and once they own shit, you know what I'm saying, they pick and choose who they want to rent to, and pick and choose who they want to hire, and pick and choose who they want to let be the next best person here and there. You know what I'm saying, bro? When gay people start running shit, they do shit in their own perspective, and then they pick on those who don't like their culture. Just like the ones, like the motherfucker pick on gay people pick on people who's not gay. You're not gay, so you can't come in here. You're not down with this club, or you can't do this, you can't do that, and the police be right behind them.
Damn. That shit happened to you before?
Yeah.
Cause I mean that
how they
shit
run
never
that shit
happened
in
to me.
America.
I mean like no homo, but you know me personally, the way I looked at it, my experience of going to that shit is no homo now. Only reason why I was going because I was going there with some straight women. You know what I'm saying? And one of them was my cousin and shit who just so happened to dress like a guy. Like she's gay as well. But when she go to work, she dress sexy as fuck. But when she, you know, goes out, she wear, you know, her little snapback and, you know, her forces or her Jordans and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And she be out there trying to get you know, other gay women and shit. And they got the fucking straight women who go there because they ain't trying to get hounded by a bunch of niggas. And they going there with their fucking gay boyfriend and shit, right? But when I went there, like, I mean, a lot of the gay dudes and the gay women, even some of the parties I went to and some of, like, the gay bars I went to with my fucking cousin, because she always dragging me out to that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, because she told me, like, the one night, she was like, oh, yeah, there's straight people, there's straight women who go there. Straight women are always up in there. And then when I found out, like, you know, because this other girl's like, oh, yeah, we be going over there on Thursdays, it be hip-hop night. So I'm like, they got straight motherfuckers in there too, man. Let me go check this shit out. So when I did go, like, I didn't have no problem getting in there. And it was like, yeah, you know, like, man, you're the only straight friend that I have. Like, that's how I've heard that shit from a lot of gay people that I know. Man, you're cool as hell, man. You're the only straight friend that I have. And I went to parties, bro. I was the only motherfucking straight dude in there. You dig? Where like, cause my cousin, her fucking and this is, you know, a black woman, but, you know, her fucking girlfriend and shit was like this heavy set black woman as well, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, she used to throw all of these parties and she used to have some bomb ass fucking food, but, you know, the parties be having like a lot of gay women in there, you know what I'm saying? You know, like sprinkled fucking gay men up in that bitch, you feel me? And, you know, they have like a few straight women in there too. But I'm going in there to support my cousin and shit. And then I knew a couple of the gay dudes because I worked with them and shit. So, you know, the food was fucking off the chain. I be in that bitch just grubbing, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like people will come in and she's like, enjoy yourself, everybody, you know, just mingle with everybody. Everybody's in here gay. And I'm like, oh, no. And I raise my head and, you know, it's like, oh, no, not everybody's gay, everybody but Sam. You know what I'm saying? So, hello, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, everybody but me, though, you know what I'm saying? You know, was like the only person that wasn't fucking gay up in there, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, with that being said, you know, like, I don't see them trying to oust, like, black men. I mean, I do see, like, a lot of them now, like, they're joining forces with feminism and shit, you dig? But for the most part, the reason why they are is because of the fact that patriarchy is too strong. Like, we had this conversation about, like, you know, black men, you know, we not going to accept gay men in our agenda, you know, as far as building the community because they can't reproduce. They refuse to reproduce because they are gay. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the problem now with the whole download shit, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, you got gay motherfuckers who don't want to come out the closet and shit, you know, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to have their cake with these fucking women and go out and eat with these motherfucking gay dudes and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, they need to be exposed. You know, and you know, that'll kind of like help out the shit. But, you know, like, you hear a lot of stories about these trannies and shit even. You know, like, they talk about, you know, how these straight men or even some of these rappers who fuck around with them and, you know, like, they want to take and go out there and act like they straight and shit. You know, I got a big problem with that. You know, and it's false, like, it's fake, you know. But gay people, I mean, you know, I don't mind. I'm like, I see the communities that they've built. Like, you even go down on High Street, you see a lot of the gay flags, and, you know, you go to New Orleans, you go like into the French Quarters, which was always, for the most part, at least, you know, for my time of living down there, was always predominantly gay. But even with that being said, since Katrina, they've even expanded their community. You know. So I mean, gays are working together. Why can't blacks work together? And I even said it before, like how black gays, because I mean, I talked to them. Black gays, they identify more with the gay community than they do with black community, because black community does what? Call them faggots and call them gay and all of this shit. Which I'll probably do like another video, an individual video on this particular topic. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably like get more into depth on this topic on another video, but yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm about to go jump in the shower.
All right, yeah, man. All right, well, shoot. Hit me up when you get out the shower, then, 'cause I was gonna take a swing through you, dig, and shit, I was gonna either catch up on that shot. You dig, or
all right, let's go. Come on through in like 20, 30 minutes.
All right, well, shoot, I'll come swing through.
All right.
All right, cool. Sam,
All right.
peace.